We are hearing more and more about people feeling lonely, and it makes sense after everything we've all been through. Yet, some of us have felt lonely for a very long time. This is something I experienced myself for many, many years. So let's talk about why that happens and what we can do about it. Hi, I'm Brenda Reese, freedom and forgiveness coach, and a person just like you that is learning to navigate life and all of its challenges. I teach a forgiveness process like no other. It's a blend of practical and spiritual forgiveness. This process guides you into knowing how unforgiveness can be keeping you stuck in your relationships, both personally and professionally, and how it prevents you from releasing resentment and finding joy. Each week, I share practical and some not so practical tips, tools, and advice from myself and other people that are on this journey just like us. This is for you if you are ready to turn your pain into peace. Welcome to the Forgive Yourself podcast. I don't know about you, and I think you can relate to this. I remember feeling so alone, even in a crowd of people. I had a deep feeling like I didn't belong there. And I also had that growing up, like I didn't belong. Did you have that? So to help myself get through that feeling, of course, of being alone and not fitting in, I started to drink to get more courage to show up. But, I learned it's not about courage. It's about connection. Connection to that part of you that knows how magnificent you truly are. And that's what I've been learning to do and help others with. That's what the forgiveness process provides to us. Identifying where the disconnect is and how we can connect it again. I've talked with people lately about this lonely feeling, so I wanted to share it with you and talk about something I read from an article written by Deepak Chopra about healing loneliness, and I want to give you a little heart practice at the end. Sound good? Good. Okay. So I'm not sure where that article was that I saw from Deepak, but I wanted to share a bit that I had copied from it that he had wrote because it resonated with me and I hope it does for you as well. So I'm going to mix a little bit of what I read from Deepak and then I'm going to add in my thoughts too. This is what Deepak said. Healing loneliness requires more than simply seeking out company. As you've probably experienced, you can feel lonely in the middle of a crowd, at a holiday party, or with a group of caring friends. The root of loneliness isn't the absence of other people, but an inner absence. You don't have a centered awareness of your true self. Your true self is your spirit, which is infinite and eternal. Its qualities include love, compassion, equanimity, joy, creativity, intuition, pure potentiality, and bliss. When you're established in the awareness of your true self, you feel lovable and connected, whether you're in a packed stadium or spending a quiet afternoon by yourself. And at the most basic level, the company you enjoy the most is your own. Okay. So loneliness is really a condition of feeling negative about our own company. And it requires then other people to fill this feeling of lack that we have inside ourselves. So what Deepak was talking about is that this inner lack is pretty much universal. We all have it. And it's a result of a restricted state of awareness that is constricting. Okay, we're unable to look beyond these rigid boundaries. And the more you try to defend these boundaries, the more fearful and insecure you become. So I liked this statement about defending those rigid boundaries. And I termed it as what I use in the forgiveness work is called fighting for my limitations. That means that the stories that I have made a habit of believing by retelling them over and over again, because that's what a habit is something we do over and over. It can actually be hindering my own growth, right? Fighting for my limitations can be hindering my own growth. And we have a hard time letting these habits or stories go because we don't know who we are without them. Okay. But they are the ones that keep us stuck because holding on to these stories or limitations is the thing that separates us from others and keeps us feeling lonely. So it's a perpetual thing. It's crazy what we do to ourselves, isn't it? So Deepak continues in the article saying, loneliness is only one symptom. When your awareness is constricted, it's easy to get lost in the drama of the ego mind. And that is the limited aspect of ourselves, which feels separate. Our ego feels separate to try to keep us safe. In a misguided attempt to feel secure, the ego mind relies on reinforcement from other people to feel lovable and never realizing that love is really our essential nature. We don't need someone else to have us feel lovable. We have the power within ourselves. Yet, the struggle that we have here with this ego mind is a crucial cause of loneliness and pain. Now, you and I, we've been taught to seek external validation. Let's go back from our young years of looking to our parents, right, to clap or smile at us. And if they didn't, we kind of took it like something was wrong about us. And then we go to school. And it's about, getting the validation from the teachers and then getting the good grades also from the parents. And it's also about going and getting our first jobs and we're being rated and reviewed. And if we didn't do what the bosses wanted, well, we were fired. Even though sometimes we didn't want to do the things we were being told to do, we did it to conform. We did it to fit in. We did it to not be alone. So seeking external validation is something that has been ingrained in us. We have to learn to seek internal validation from our authentic self. We have to learn to connect with that part of us. We were connected for the first few years of our lives, and then we get conditioned. So the first step in healing loneliness is to be aware of yourself. Now we can start with cultivating an acceptance of all of our emotions. Yep, that thing that we're all afraid of, the emotional part. Yeah, because we have all learned to categorize our emotions into bad or good emotions. Yet really, every emotion is valid. You and I are meant to feel our emotions. Now, we're not supposed to stay stuck in them like you've heard me talk about before, because we've learned to do that. But we're meant to feel them and to learn to use them as messengers. They give us information. What we want to stop ourselves from doing, though, is going into judgment about these emotions. This is what causes the damage. After we are able to be aware of our own emotions and start to acknowledge them, and of course, and not judge them or feel guilty or shameful for having them, then every time you feel lonely or anxious, rather than like piling on that judgment and shame on yourself, you can start to then practice self-compassion. Now, to practice self-compassion, it's helpful to think of like how you would treat a scared child or a pet. You wouldn't snap or speak harshly to them or tell them to buck up and stop being ridiculous. Were you ever told that? I was. I hated that. Buck up. It's like, what the heck is even buck up? But I was told that. Didn't like it. So instead, I digress. Sorry about that. I digress. But instead, you'd offer them affection and loving attention and gentle understanding. See your loneliness as that messenger. letting you know that your awareness of your true loving nature has temporarily become clouded by thoughts generated by our ego mind, or in some cases, we can call it our judging self. As you become more accepting of your emotions, the need to hide how you're really feeling is going to drop away, and you will find yourself relating to others from that authentic place within you, your authentic self. So as you become more aware of yourself, by one, acknowledging your emotions, two, giving them space, and then three, bringing in that self-compassion. And remember, you're going to do that by learning to be a bit gentler with yourself by thinking how you would talk to a small child or pet, but you're going to do that to yourself. Then that leads us into being able to love ourselves, and then that will emanate out into creating more fulfilling relationships. And this, my friend, is what helps us to not feel so lonely, because it starts within us. I'd like to share a Heart Math Institute meditation that has helped me a lot when it comes to wanting to get this message of my emotions or around situations that are bothering me. And it is called the freeze frame technique. And I'd really like to share it with you because it's helped me so much. So it sound good? Okay, here it is. So what you want to do first is you want to identify the problem or the issue like you would like to change. So, or this emotion that you're feeling. Like if you're having emotion come up, anger, sadness, grief, identify this. Okay. And then second, you're going to feel into what is coming up for you. Do you feel bad about having the emotion, feeling, or situation? What is your negative talk or positive talk? We want to use those terms. What are your attitudes and feelings about the emotion coming up or this situation? And then number 3, we go into the freeze frame practice. Okay. So I'd like you to relax in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. You can lower your gaze or close your eyes if you're comfortable. And begin breathing in and out of your heart center. So you can put your hand on your heart if it makes it easier to focus there. But every breath you take in and out will be coming what feels like out of your heart center. I would like you now to imagine being easy on yourself and letting go and creating some expansion, some space within yourself. So keep breathing in and out of the heart center. And as you're breathing in and out of your heart center, I would like you to now activate a positive heart feeling. So this means really cultivate an appreciation for something. So bring in some ideas or thoughts of a place that makes you feel yummy and comfortable and good, or maybe a pet that makes you feel loving, or something that really activates some appreciation. And as you keep breathing in and out of this heart space, as you're thinking of this appreciation or this space that has you feel expansive, feel your heart open more and expand more. And as you feel this, you're going to ask your heart, what do I need to know about this emotion or feeling that keeps coming up? What can I know about this emotion or feeling that keeps coming up? You can also ask, what would be a solution to this challenge that I'm having? Okay, keep breathing in and out. So you want to ask the question of either the feeling, the emotion, or the situation. And then just listen in this expansive, heartfelt place to any answers that come to you. I want you to trust it. You're not making it up. You're in this beautiful field of possibility. And then, when you feel complete, thank your heart. Thank this expansiveness. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. I want you to write that down, anything that comes to you. And then the fun part is to watch for insights to come in the upcoming days, because you're going to get some insights. You're going to get some validations. It'll be kind of fun to watch for it. Okay. And repeat this daily, or a couple times a day if you'd like. It has been really helpful for me. So I hope you like it. I sure hope that this helps you with not feeling so lonely. It is truly about our internal validation rather than external, and it is something we get to teach ourselves and actually each other. Thank you so much for listening, and know that I am sending you big hugs as we journey along together on this internal exploration. Take care. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy it, would you do me a favor and share this episode, and then follow us on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss one episode of the Forgive Yourself podcast, where every Friday you will get tips, tools, and stories so that you can turn your pain into peace. Take care.